Welcome to Post Game Podcast. I'm your host, June. Pistons played their final preseason game. Uh, I don't know if you're too concerned about wins and losses as far as the preseason, but we do have a final. The Pistons win 108 to 92. Couple of thoughts about how preseason has gone, and along with this game, I think there's reason for optimism watching the Pistons play. There's been some slight inconsistencies. There's also been a concern with the turnovers. You know, that's my thing. Don't turn the ball over. That's my pet peeve, turning the ball over. However, and I can't say this enough, after going 14 and 68, I just see a reason for optimism. I think there's a better energy out there. Uh, the roster has been overhauled somewhat. And I also believe that they're a little bit more disciplined. And I think what I've seen from Ivy is what I needed to see. I believe in Cade. I know what Cade's going to do. The question mark was Ivy for me. What will he do under this new coaching regime? And I've seen nothing that has shown me that he won't flourish under this new coaching regime. He's been excellent. Tonight he was okay, but you have to realize that all the starters only played 8 minutes. Cade, Duran, Ivy, Tobias Harris, and Hardaway Jr. I don't think he'll be a starter come the regular season, but they only played 8 minutes apiece. Um, and prior to that, Ivy was he's been everything I needed to see for preseason. Don't worry about Cade. Tobias Harris played 4 out of the 5 preseason games, and he looked the part. Uh, he got some shots early. He hit a couple of threes earlier in the game. Like I said, they only played 8 minutes, but I was very impressed with the floor spacing. The second, we third and fourth quarter was basically a G League team out there, but they were hustling. They were responding to the coaching, and I think the lead was 4 points for a long time, and there was a time in the third quarter, all the way into like with 3 or 4 minutes into the fourth quarter, where they didn't score, and it was a bit concerning. But then they started getting steals and transition buckets. So I I don't think a lot of those you'll see a lot of those players that we saw in the third and fourth quarter today. But the thing I'll look for is the coaching. They were coached up. They handled the pressure. And overall, I think this is a better product we have to look forward to uh, going into the 2024-25 season. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll get back to wrapping this thing up. Yeah, I had to use the bleachers to speakers transition. Before, no, I'm tripping. Subscribe to Bleachers and Speakers on YouTube. Please subscribe there. We're trying to get 200 subscribers. And for your podcast aggregator, that we can be found on Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts. All you have to do is type in Post Game Podcast, FFSN in the search there. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you download those episodes. Pistons win this one. I think it was 108 to 92. And for a long time in the third quarter, the lead was back and forth, 4 to 6 points. Was the biggest lead for a long time, and they broke it open in the fourth. There was an interesting statistics from the Cleveland Cavaliers in the third quarter. Garland only took 2 shots, and Mitchell only took 2 shots. But hey, uh, I don't go by wins and losses during the preseason. I look for effort. I look for better shooting. I look for coaching, and looking at everything in this preseason, the Pistons finished 3-2, and from what I saw, I liked what I saw. Now, there was a game the Pistons played versus Golden State, and they shot the lights out the ball. I think they had 18 threes, and at one point they were shooting 78% 3-point land, and this was in the third quarter. So, um, and the Pistons didn't shoot so well. So that was that game in a nutshell. They hit everything from beyond the arc. We didn't, and they didn't even play Curry versus us. It was crazy, but um, I like the direction. I like how everything is going. I think um, we have until what today is the 16th. We got a week off. October 23rd is the opener versus Indiana. That's a tough. The first 10 games is kind of grueling. I think there's like 2 or 3 games where the Pistons might even be favored. Um, but for the most part, you have Indiana, you have the Knicks within those 10 games, you have the Lakers within those 10 games. There's a lot of teams in there. You have Cleveland within those 10 games. There's a lot of teams within that first 10 games where we're not expected to win a bunch of those games. I don't want anybody to be discouraged though. The first 10 games are rough. Last year, me and Foster witnessed uh, the team, and we were reporting on the team. We were 2-1 and lost 28 straight. I don't foresee that happening. Uh, it better not happen this year. I don't think it's a possibility, but I like what I've seen in this preseason, and I think that we have a lot to look forward to. So I'm gonna remind you guys again, subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube and follow us on all the podcast aggregators, uh, post game podcast, FFSN. If you subscribe to that Bleachers to Speakers YouTube channel, you'll see the Detroit Lions podcast that we do, and that is called Bleachers to Speakers. Uh, you'll see uh, you'll see the baseball show, the Tigers show. Corner to Copa. That's hosted by B. Foster and my boy Coach. We will have Red Wings on there this year. We're still in the works of putting that show together, and we're inviting anybody that wants to talk Pistons basketball with us. Uh, if you want your own segment on our platform, we can make that happen. Same for Detroit Lions, same for Red Wings, same for Tigers. The more the merrier. Let's grow this channel. Let's grow this network. Let's talk sports.